If you want to be successful in the world of Grand RP, you need to use these top tips and tricks that I'm about to show in this video, and while most of these are primarily meant for new players who still don't know a whole lot about the server economy, I think you'll also find some pretty good nuggets of wisdom here, even if you're a veteran player. Basically, it's a list of good practices, businesses, and jobs that you can do to make lots of money really fast, and I'll also be covering some of the biggest mistakes that players make and how to fix them so you don't feel like a total chump while playing. Also, if you guys haven't signed up yet for Grand RP, you can do so by clicking the link in my description or my pinned comment, which will take you straight to the registration page. There, all you have to do is enter your email and in-game name to create an account for yourself. Then you can download the client and start playing for free right away. By using my link, you'll also get some bonus cash as well as 3 limited time sports cars, one of which you get to keep for free. Also, if you join through English server number 1, you can be a part of the Hazard Gang, which is my family inside Grand RP, and you'll get shared access to the family house as well as vehicles. Right then, let's talk about pro tip numero uno, which is investments. In Grand RP, right as you log in and make a new character, the game will likely prompt you with a message that looks something like this. But don't click the default option, because the way investments work is you have 2 kinds. You have daily investments as well as long-term investments. Daily investments are really simple. You select how many hours you want to play, and once you finish the allotted amount of time, you get your reward. Long-term investments are a bit more nuanced. Here, you can log in and log off anytime you want, but you have to deposit a starter sum first, and then you'll get a return on that investment, which will be a percentage of the money that you deposited. And for new players, the choice is very obvious here. You want to go with daily investments because these require 0 money from your end. As long as you know how long you're going to play, you can make some easy cash, which adds up over time. For example, if you select investment option 1, that's $10,000 for 1 hour of gameplay. What you do in that 1 hour is totally up to you, as long as you complete the full hour inside Grand RP. Do this for 30 days straight, and that's a free $300,000 in your bank account, plus the daily login rewards, which includes items like backpacks, clothes, and even cars that you can earn just by logging into Grand RP for a certain number of days. But in my opinion, the most efficient daily investment option is number 3, which pays $40,000 for 3 hours of gameplay, and this way you can make an extra $1.2 million a month just by playing Grand RP and doing whatever you want during those 3 hours. The next tip I've got isn't so much as a tip as it is a warning against spending exorbitant sums of cash on cars that you cannot sell to other players, and here's why. In Grand RP, reselling is a huge part of the in-game economy, and it's also an easy way to get items that you either don't want to grind for or items that were seasonal exclusives and aren't available readily anymore, which means a lot of people sell their highly upgraded cars that have pro parts installed, and these cars also come with chip tuning upgrades and body modifications, which significantly increase their value over the stock models. However, cars that you get from crates or containers can't be sold, and unless you're absolutely positive that you're going to be driving that car in the future, no matter what, you shouldn't really drop millions of dollars on performance upgrades and tuning, because then all you have is an expensive paperweight once you get bored of it or find something better. And while we're at it here, don't withdraw large sums of cash from ATMs. If you own an ATM business yourself in Grand RP, you know why I'm saying this. Every withdrawal a customer makes through your ATM incurs a small amount of tax. This doesn't apply to deposits, which is why you can replenish your account just fine through ATMs, but as soon as you start withdrawing hundreds of thousands in cash, you'll realize that 10% of that is basically vanishing into thin air, so you're actually losing money by withdrawing from ATMs. It's fine for the small transactions, like at the department store or juice shop if you need some quick cash, but never buy cars or properties with your ATM money, because you'll lose out on hundreds of thousands of dollars over time when you can instead just go to the bank and get your money for a 0% fee. Next, I'll show you how to repair your car for free, and for this you'll have multiple options here. Either you can enter a service station, aka Los Santos Customs, or you can enter a building interior, which puts you in a different instance from the outside world, and when you pop back out, your car will have been repaired. Alternatively, if you want to repair your car out in the middle of the desert or the forest, you can also equip a repair kit in one of your fast access slots and press the key to immediately fix the vehicle. Then, if you want to find collectibles and resources like plants and animals more easily, simply go to your graphics settings and turn the grass quality all the way down. If you've ever played PUBG, this is the equivalent of setting the foliage option to low in that game so you can see more players even easier. And there's also a secondhand bonus of increasing your FPS while you do so. Another pro tip here if you're a beginner is buying the Canis Bodhi, which is the cheapest vehicle for gaining lots of trunk space. It costs just $27,000 and it has 30 trunk slots, making it the ideal mule for when you want to ferry stuff around on a budget. Whether it's supplies, guns, resources, or whatever, your Bodhi will never fail you. And it's also an excellent off-roader, so no matter what kind of terrain you're driving on, the Canis Bodhi will always stay planted to the ground. And speaking of trunk space, you should also take some time out of your day to properly organize all your items in the vehicle trunks and do so by category so they're easier to find. This is especially important after a few months of playing Grand RP, as by now you'll likely have multiple vehicles all filled with different kinds of junk, and it can get really hard to remember what's stored in which car unless you stay organized and organize all your belongings. Then the next thing I want to point out here is that everything in Grand RP is timed around hourly cycles. Paychecks, rewards, random crate drops, grand coin rewards, live events, etc. They're all refreshed by the hour, so if you've got a few minutes left and you're thinking about logging out, don't. Instead, stick around for that next little bit to see what your next treasure hunt or live event is. A nice way to make lots of hourly money is with valuable containers, and once again, these are actually time sensitive, so you can only do it if you're in the right place at the right time. So every hour, if you open up your phone and select the treasure app, you'll get photos of 3 separate locations where a treasure can spawn, and there's also a little battle tab where a single person can come to claim that valuable container. You should probably bring some family members for this one because fights can be quite unpredictable in Grand RP, and you honestly never know who's going to show up and what sort of firepower they're going to be packing. So it's best to have some backup with you. And every hour, that's an easy $100,000 because if you win the battle, not only will you get a regular vehicle container, but you'll also get a desert scarf container, and these can easily be resold for some cash. And don't forget, you also get XP based on how much time you spend, and these rewards are also refreshed every hour. Of course, if you're 20 or 25 minutes past that hour marker, you don't want to just stand there for the next 40 minutes. In that case, you can just leave, but if you're, say, 5 or even 10 minutes away from the next hour, you should probably just consider sticking around to wait and see. And for my final big tip, I've got something that can save you a ton of cash if you're looking to buy a new house, and it's really simple. You just visit this place right here, it's called the real estate agency. Then what you can do is browse through the various houses on sale and just select the one that you like. But before you hit that purchase button, make sure to actually visit the house by clicking this button, which is called Set the Point to the House, and if possible, have the owner unlock the door and show you around the place so you can see if they have a custom interior, any special furniture, all that kind of cool stuff so you know exactly what you're getting for the money you're spending. And then you should also try bargaining with them to see if they can lower the price a bit. It's always worth it because people generally tend to overprice their houses in Grand RP, and sometimes you'll run into folks who overpaid at the auction and want to get their money back so they can buy something else. So you need to know whether someone is trying to pull a fast one on you, but you can also check around the locale, see what similar houses are going for. Ask your friends who might be more experienced, but ultimately never forget to bargain with the sellers at the auction, whether you're buying a car or even buying a house. More often than not, you'll make them lower their prices, and that'll save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process, if not millions. Sometimes a seller will ask for $7 million for an apartment, you offer $5 million, the two of you meet in the middle at $6 million. That's $1 million saved that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten if you hadn't asked. And trust me, it will add up over the duration of your Grand RP career, and at some point, you might even be able to buy a new Bugatti or a McLaren with all that cash that you've saved up, so never forget to bargain with other players. But yeah, I mean, that's really all the Grand RP tips and tricks I have for this video. Let me know if you want a part 2 on this, because I've got a few more tips on businesses and which skills you should buy that I think will prove quite helpful to those of you who are new to Grand RP. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you found it informative. Consider subscribing to the channel if you are new and you want to see more content just like this. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next GTA 5 RP video. Adios, amigos.